Hey y'all, this is AL Thick Madame, and this is the recap review for Tyler Perry's Sistas. So the episode started where it left off with the bank getting robbed, and it's just to the point where Q is not trying to hear nothing what nobody got to say. You're gonna get shot if you don't cooperate. So then it gets to a point where he just takes Sabrina and has her at gunpoint. He asks somebody else to have a gun on Maurice at that moment, and she had to call corporate. He trying to say if this is a trick, then somebody gonna get killed. I don't care if I'm getting killed in the process because I need money. So she done called corporate, and she is following all the instructions that she's supposed to follow. And it's to the point right now she's like, well, yeah, I can have my access code ready in 45 seconds. Cool. All right, do what you do. So anyway, moving right along, Zach is at the location where he is trying to buy that property. The inside of it has nothing but the foundation, and he is going to have to be the one to put up the money to have people come in and build. So not sure if he is familiar with creating the blueprints and all that good stuff, but yeah, he gonna have to have somebody else to come in there and do the actual work to make it look like something, but it looks amazing on the outside. So he done called Fatima at work to see if she can get off and come look at it. And she has actually seen a video that he sent over, and she was like, it looked decent. It looked good. Trust yourself. She is just continuously encouraging him to just go with his gut. But he still wants her input. He still wants her to come and see it in person. And she was like, look, I'm going to try to get out, and I'll let you know, So then he got off the phone, and so of course the realtor wants to know like what he want to do, because there are other people who are said to have been looking at the property and are ready to put down some money right now. He was like, okay, so can I do half? And so she was like, I guess, what I'm saying, but it's gonna have to be cash, and I can call the bank, the financing department, and get them on the line to see what they can do. I'm pretty sure that they can work with you or whatever. But what is hidden for though? What you got going on? Are you married? Do you have a girlfriend? Do you have a fiance? So he looking like, what kind of questions are these? And so she was just like, no, that's not on the application or nothing. I'm just trying to, I'm asking for myself. She wanted to go for drinks and all of this. That went all the way off. She tried to holler at him, and he was just like, no. And I got a girl. And she was disappointed, and he was like, so tell me that you're not going to sit up here and go hard for me all because I just told you the truth that I have a woman. And so she was just like, no, it ain't like that. Like, I'm still going to go hard for you, but, it's just too bad. Like, she was just all the way here for Zach. Child doing the most. So anyway, back to Sabrina and Maurice at the bank. Sabrina really cannot get into the vault. Maurice is so crazy that he did not read the handbook. And Q is mad because he just sat up there and told him that managers are the only ones that can get into the vault and all this other stuff. Now, I think that she is lying a little bit, because I could have swore I've seen them open up the vault at the beginning of the day. Well, no. I'm wrong on that. I think there's a certain part that leads to that safety deposit area, and that's not the vault. That's my bad, y'all. So anyway, y'all know what I'm talking about. But yeah, maybe she really can't open the vault. But anyway, it's just to the point where after she gave her access code and all this other stuff, this man was like, you better not have been a call to police. This better not be a trick. If I see police or I hear police, it's going to be a problem. So then he ended up leaving out the building and left Maurice and Sabrina in there. Now, Maurice is tied up. His hands are tied, and she's there, and they're scared because it's not just Q there. There are other goons there that are armed as well. All of a sudden, we hear police coming up the street. I'm like, child, is this man finna run back in the building and shoot it up or what? But he didn't. They ended up coming in the back, swarming in. They talking about it's like 40 police outside, and y'all ain't gotta worry. We are going to apprehend the suspects. And I'm just like, child, I don't know about all that. I believe it when I see it. But anyway, they were like, well, you're going to have to give a statement, what's going on. And so they kind of had a moment before the police came in. And she was like, you're going to have to tell them the truth. And he was just like, I don't know about all that. Like, do we really have to tell the truth? Like, oh, okay. So in front of the police officers, and this fool said, how you gonna rat on me to 12? I was like, no, not 12. I don't know what it is. When anytime somebody say 12, it just kills me. And for those of y'all who don't know what 12 means, it's one of the many ways that a person says the police. So anyway, Danny is at the airport working, and then we see El Fuego, y'all know, the stripper, walking through, and I was just like, what? Y'all know, like earlier in this, I think it was this season or at the end of last season, he came to that restaurant where Gary and them was at, and he ran into Sabrina. All of them apparently went to college together. So anyway, he done rolled up on Danny, and she was like, what you doing here? And he was like, I ain't seen you in a long time. You ain't been down there to the spot. You know, he works at the Eden. What is it, Eden? Some stripper place. Some strip club. And she was like, I'm broke, I ain't got no money like that. And he acted like he is here for her. And so she was like, I ain't got no money. And what you doing down there? I know you actually be sitting up there in the champagne room. Don't try to make it seem like you don't be having sex with these people. And so he tried to make it seem like he don't. Apparently they have had sex before. She tried to say that it was pity sex because back in the day he was husky. He was not looking how he looking now. And so he was like, really, this is what you gonna say it was pity sex? So you could tell she kind of here for him because I don't want to say it's the toxic vibes, but I feel like it's the remnants of what the toxicity was when she was deep off in the strip club all the time, throwing all her money away on these men. But yeah, I don't think El Fuego is really like, you know, toxic like that. It's just his profession. And she was trying to figure out where he just came from. He just came back in from Miami. He had some stuff to do out there. You know, when they send him out the city to do something that is going to be a big payday. And so he's trying to explain to her, oh, I'm making bank. Like, you ain't got to try to make it seem like, oh, because I'm doing this, I ain't making no money. I'm making money. So he keeps inviting her down to the club. She keeps trying to tell him, I ain't got it. He was like, well, I got you. So she keeps listing off stuff because he was like, just bring your girls, whatever. And so she was like, okay, if you cover me and them, or I ain't got no money, are you going to cover drinks? Are you going to cover food? Are you going to cover valet parking? This effort went all the way off. He was like, I got you. So she was like, all right. So he was like, well, make sure you call me. And he walked off. I was like, child, y'all doing too much. So anyway, Karen is at work and she just finished ahead. And the person then walked out. Of course, Pam has to remind her that the clients are moving right along to the stylist who left Karen's shop, Isaac. What is it, Isaiah. And because his prices are like half the price. And it's like, if you're going to get the same exact service for half the money, because he's doing this out of his mama's house, I think, most people are going to jump on that. And I feel them. I understand times are hard. And, you know, sometimes it's hard to pass up bargains like that. I get that. So, yeah. Pam want to know how she going to get paid, how the bill's going to continue to get paid, and what's going on, because ain't no money really coming in like that. Pam somehow figured out that Zach cut her a check. And so she was like, how you know that? And so she was like, well, I had my suspicions, but you just confirmed them just now. But it is what it is. So, you know. So she was like, all right, Heifer, I'm going to go. Before she left to go cash the check, because she was going to go deposit the check, she ended up going to her office and calling Zach. Zach still has her cell phone blocked. And so she called from the office phone. So he answered the phone and she was like, oh, you still got me blocked? He was like, oh, I didn't mean to still have you blocked, but what's up with his info or whatever. So this heifer is like, you know, basically told him thank you for the check. And so he was like, well, you know, I just gave you what I owed you and all this other stuff. And I don't like the fact that this heifer found out that he wasn't the one who ran up them charges on her credit cards, and she still can't say I'm sorry. Like, he even was just like, oh, okay, so we ain't giving no apology. Oh, okay. Because you really tried to make it seem like this man was the one who did it without doing the research. And even your friends were like, no, Zach done some things in his life, but he would not do that to you. And you were just like, oh, I know Zach did that. His name was on that. I know he did it. And you can't even say, I really sincerely apologize for that, because that would have been his third strike, heifer. He would have been in jail for that. Like, girl, how you gonna say you love him, but you can't even muster up an I'm sorry? I can't. So anyway, it had just got to the point. I'm tired. I'm so tired of her. But anyway, so Fatima ended up showing up, and she, alerted him to the fact that it's a really nice neighborhood because it has great daycares and all this other stuff. So pretty much, if he actually is going to either live there or flip the property and all this other stuff, he'll be able to he'll be able to resell it, do whatever he want to do, because it's in such a great neighborhood. So I think he gonna get the place, and so they gonna meet up later on. I just love their relationship. It's everything. They was looking good in their black wedding. Look, y'all saw that black dress. Fatima just be serving anyway. Fatima stay serving, and I'd be here for it. I'd be so here for it. So anyway, the police are still at the bank, and Karen ended up coming in to cash the check. And so the police were trying to tell her that she can't come in, but Sabrina was like, oh, I know her. It's okay. She can come in. So she ended up explaining that they just got robbed, and Maurice is deep off in his feelings, and he was like, well, it's my fault because it's my fault that we got robbed and all this other stuff. And it was just crazy. So anyway, Sabrina went over there to go deposit the check. She opened the envelope and she saw that it was from Zach. So she was just like, wow, he gave you all the money back. Like, I can't believe this. So she was like, yeah. And it couldn't have come at a better time. And she kind of told her a little bit about her business, just a smidgen. But she was like, yeah, this couldn't have been at a better time. And you could tell that she's kind of regretting that they aren't together, because he done came up and now she down in the dump. She ain't got it like she had it before, because normally she was the one who was out here doing the absolute most and getting all the money, and now he got all the money and she ain't getting it like that. So it is what it is. But Sabrina thought that was very thoughtful of him to do and all that. And I'm like, well, I mean, it was the right thing to do, because for 3 years she was supporting him. So I mean, okay. If he hadn't done that, even if he hadn't done that, I would have appreciated if he had done an installment plan where he was, giving up $50 to $100 or something like that every time he got paid or something, to show that he actually is trying. So anyway, Karen, had to let her know, like, yeah, I mean, I'm happy for him, and I will always love him, but we ain't together. I don't like him like that. Like, she trying to play it, and it's like, girl, everybody know how you are when it comes to Zach, but go off though. So anyway, now she talk about, oh, I just think I judged him too much. You only saying that because he done came up. Like, it's like now you're seeing a change in him. He was changing before that, when he was in between loving you and wanting Fatima. Like, at that pivotal moment before the money came, he probably would have went with you instead of still trying to get with Fatima like that. So anyway, whatever, heifer, you'll be all right. She did end up asking about how Aaron was doing, and so she did let her know that he proposed, and she was just like, I told him, whatever, and it is what it is. And I was just like, child. Sabrina was like, I just think y'all should take y'all time. You need a little bit more time. And I agree, because it's like, nah. And like I said before, when he finally got him some, I ain't like the way he got up immediately. All of a sudden, you got up immediately. You normally be all up in her face all day. You pop up all day. And then all of a sudden, when you finally got them legs to spread, you hopped up. It was like, oh, I got somewhere to be in the middle of the night. Boy, bye. I ain't got time for it. I ain't gonna never be here for Aaron, I don't think. Anyway, Karen ended up calling Andy and Danny and on three-way to let them know what done happened, because even though she's trying to act like she's fine, Sabrina was shaking up. And so everybody was like, oh, I'm gonna come down there, I'm gonna come down there. But if they're gonna come down there, they need to come down there and, not even come there, go to her house and try to support or whatever. So they're gonna try to link up, because it's like, no, that's just too much. If our friend going through, let's be supportive. But you could tell that she was shaking up from the robbery, so I understand. So Hayden You know what I'm saying? Let me make sure I enunciate. It's all up and through Fatima's office. And Andy peeped it and was like, what's going on here? Why are you behind her desk? And he was like, I was just looking for Fatima. Then he gonna try to say, oh, I was making a phone call. And so she was like, if you're done with your phone call, I'm gonna need for you to come from behind that because I don't know you like that. Because at first he was like, oh, so you don't trust me? And she was like, ain't gonna do with that. I just don't know you. And Fatima handles a lot of sensitive information for me. So I can show you out. Like, boy, if you don't get up from out of here, you doing the most. Why is you in her office? You always, I just don't understand. How you gonna try to run somebody who ain't with you? And then if you are with somebody, you're not the slave master. What is we doing? Please go somewhere and sit down. I cannot stand Hayden. Oh, he irks my soul. Ooh. So anyway, Fatima came back like not long after this happened, and Andy let her know what it was. And of course, she came in hot, on ready, and said it all, and was like, what was you doing in my office? She went all the way off on him. And he trying to understand what she got going on. And she was like, don't play these games with me. I am not the B to be playing with. And so he was like, oh, you call yourself the B word? What? Oh my gosh. Like trying to act like he don't know what it's hidden for. You know she is a thug. You know that Fatima is a real G out here in these streets. So anyway, I love Fatima. So anyway, she read him and was like, don't try me no more. And so he gonna try to be funny when she leaving out and was like, make sure you knock on my door before entering my office. And she said, F you on the way out, and kept on going by her business, and I'm here for it. So anyway, Sabrina ended up asking Maurice earlier if she can take him home. He was like, no, I'll walk. And so she was able to finally convince him. So they got to the house, and they ended up closing the bank early. And so he's like, man, you want something to drink? And she was like, yeah, might as well. And because they off work, it's like, no matter what time it is, after all the stuff y'all have been through, should you need something to take the nerves off at this point? So anyway, he was like, yeah, you know it's going to be on the news. And so she was like, yeah, I know. So in my mind, I'm just waiting for Q to come out the back, because we saw what happened before where Maurice's friend got the key that was on. I'm just like, who does that anyway? Why would you leave your door on top of the little part where the hinge on the top of the hinge, on the top hinge of the door, on the outside of an apartment? What? Child, not the spare key. You done went off. But anyway, so in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, this fool has a spare key, done got the spare key somewhere, and I'm just waiting on him to come out the back and shoot it up. I'm still waiting because I don't think they done apprehended him yet. I'm not gonna trust nothing until the news say that they apprehended him. So anyway, they in there and they talking, and Maurice is feeling really, really low and in his feelings, and he's just like, look, I sat up here and allowed somebody to steal from me. I should have been done with him and did what I needed to do when I saw that he stole from Calvin, but I didn't. I'm lonely, and people don't want me in real life. They just are trying to get sex. And so, because he really wants to be in a real relationship that's fulfilling and all that other good stuff. And so he was just like, well, I'm fat and I look like this, and ain't nobody checking for nobody. I'm fat and undesirable, and don't nobody want nobody like me. They on these dating apps and everybody only looking for sex. So Sabrina was like, no, there has to be some good gay men out here for you to date, whatever. And so he was like, look, I know what it is. When I was with Q and having sex with him, I was just imagining in those moments while we were having sex that he loved me, even though I knew it was fake. It's sad, but I ain't gonna lie to you. I've had moments where I've done that as well. It's really sad. It's really sad because it's like people don't really be out. I feel like most people ain't out here looking for stuff like that, looking for something real. And it's sad that you gotta kind of fake in your mind that a situation is happening, like, oh, this person loves me and all this other stuff. You shouldn't have to do that. But I have done that before. Ain't no shame in it as far as I'm concerned. I'm not ashamed. Like, I don't mind telling y'all the crazy stuff and the things that might make you be like, okay, that I've done. It is what it is. So yeah, he is just really not here for it. And then he's just developed this way of thinking because his parents hate him because he's gay. So he's just like, I already know what it's hitting for. So in my mind, I just envision that these people love me, even though I know they don't, because don't nobody want me anyway. Ain't nobody here for me anyway. So the people who's supposed to love you are the ones who hate you. So I can, empathize with what he's saying. And it's so sad though. So yeah, but pretty much he's just like me. He is done with love and relationships. So he says he was talking about he gonna get him a rocking chair and all this other stuff. I was like, child, rocking chairs are everything though. But I mean, I ain't trying to get one because I'm claiming that I'm old and gray and all of that. It's just they're very comfortable and nice to fall asleep in. So anyway, I love the part where he said, "Don't cry for me, Argentina." I promise you, I say that so much. I have been saying "Don't cry for me, Argentina" since I was at least a teenager. I don't know what is wrong. But when he said that, I laughed. But anyway, but yeah, at this point, he thinks that he's going to get fired because of all this stuff that has went down. Sabrina's trying to reassure him that that's not the case. But while they're in the middle of their conversation, some random white woman comes out and she's butt naked. And we're just like, what is going on here? I know good and well this person isn't someone who is here because of, Q or some other person who has magically appeared with a key. Well, she done went to the refrigerator. She was like, oh, I didn't know anybody was here. Then we see Calvin exit the room butt naked too. And now we're going to have to wait until next week to see what is going on because he's trying to explain it away. Thank y'all so much for tuning into this foolishness. I'll talk to y'all later on. Bye.